Hi everyone, it's Liz Mattori again. Thank you so much for checking out this video. So I decided, since I was doing my hair this morning, to address these hair policies that you might be hearing about in your local jurisdictions. My former county, and one of the reasons why I had to leave said goodness gracious, might as well be, county, Montgomery County, in December passed what they call a Crown Bill or Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair Act. So this is my natural hair. If anyone wants to know, I remember when I was in college, one of my sorority sisters, yes, I was in a sorority, Alpha Chi Omega, what? Anyway, one of my sorority sisters swore up and down that her hair was curlier than mine, and I was like, not so much. My sorority was Alpha Chi, and it's a majority Caucasian sorority. So she was not my skin complexion. She was of a lighter hue, and she thought that our perm curled our hair. But when we say perm for curly hair, we straighten our hair. And this whole conversation about particularly black women's hair is one of the most triggered theories when it comes to being a woman of a darker hue in the society, and maybe other societies as well, since the beginning of the time that we were brought over here. And so when you see, government, let's be honest, government dictating what acts or how one should look or one shouldn't look, we have to be very, very careful. Our government is a negative government. And it sounds counterintuitive when I've heard it for the first time, but a negative government isn't here to do things for us. It's solely here to protect us from foreign invaders, if you will. We have unalienable rights, meaning there are certain rights like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that anything, whether it's government or not, cannot take away from us, because why? They are from God. And so all of it, as I said, goes right back to communism. There are two sort of fundamental, I don't want to say, governing concepts in all societies. There's civil society, like you, me, your friends, your cousins, your family, your neighbors, what have you, and then there's the government. And society is sort of articulated by virtue of what society sort of creates as culture. Now, when it comes to government isn't supposed to, say for instance, tell an employer that, okay, this person you discriminated against because she came in with her hair curly and you expected her to have straight hair, which, by the way, if you want to know, this is washed and conditioned, and I have a little gel in my hair. Literally, this is what my hair looks like. In order for me to get straight, I have to blow dry it first with a blow dryer, and then go through it again with a hot iron or a hot comb, or, well, it used to be a hot comb, not anymore, or a curling iron. So that whole process takes 2 hours for me. So that's why I usually wear my hair up. And all these different things people go through. Some people have super duper curly hair, some people have really, really limp, fine hair. Like my mom, for example, she's from the Philippines, so her hair texture is so different from mine. And we actually literally have to have 2 different hairsprays because her hairspray is volumizing and mine is anti-humidity. So that's just one of those things. And when I saw that they were trying to push, and they're continuing to push it with local jurisdictions, and I think they're trying to do it in the state, that is a communist policy. Again, when you see government doing something like having a fine of $5,000 on an employer for discriminating against someone because of their hair, that is bad. It's not good. It's it's opposite day. We as individuals have every right to say, excuse me, I feel offended by you saying something about my hair or what have you. But it's not the government's role to sort of maneuver those relationships. If you have a teacher, for example, Will Jawanda, who is I guess a friend of mine, a colleague of mine. By the way, his wife should be the one who's elected. She's way smarter than him, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, Will has I think 4 girls and a boy now, and I think his impetus for bringing this little bill now law to the Montgomery County Council was that his girls were being picked on at school or something. And so that sort of ignited this notion of oh, well, we've got to do something about discrimination. Again, this is the reason why conservatives sort of come off as we don't care, because quite frankly, it's no one else's business. And it's not the government's responsibility to navigate that conversation. It's the individual's issue. So the difference again from the conservatives and the progressives is that we as conservatives believe that as human beings, as individuals, as citizens, as sentient beings, that we can kind of discern and decipher and reason and ration and communicate and have emotions and have reason and all of that. That huge, wonderful, beautiful thing that an individual, also has the gift of God within. That's amazing. And those wonderful individuals are amazing to figure that out. The government was not set up. The government is expected to be a cold, heartless bureaucracy. It is not human. And when you have government, again, going into something like hairstyles, we've got to draw the line somewhere. I know some people will be like, oh, you want the government to be out of your bodies until when it comes to abortion. It's a whole nother issue. Because again, what communists do is that they manipulate information to a point where you feel as if it's something that you need when you really don't. They have literally forced us to not only forget about our own personal human dignity and ability to reason and ration and communicate, but they are now, again, assuming that government is the only solution. And to this day, our government, our Constitution, was never set up to be that way. So I implore you, pay more attention to what your government, that's your city council, that's your county council, that's your Congress, that's your state legislature. The laws that are trying to force and or dictate and or state what actions are appropriate or not, and then places a fine on the reverse, you have to be mindful. And again, hair policy, when I saw that, honestly, it is the most paternalistic law I have ever heard. Because despite how you feel and how all of us feel about how we should wear our hair, this, that, and the other, that is a personal journey. And for you to think that the government has to make you feel better, that is absolutely wrong. The government's not there for that. And you shouldn't depend on the government for that. That is between you and God, your master, and how you want to look that day. If someone has a problem with you wearing your hair curly, that's their problem. I have an issue because a lot of people apparently can't recognize me, because what I've had to ask people, I'm the same person, I don't get it. Even county executive now, Mark Elridge, can't tell me apart from my cousin, who literally is half the size of me, right? So I get, some people have an issue with figuring out when we change our hairdo, it is what it is. I guess people focus on our hair first, which is something that we also have to be mindful of. I tend to not wear my hair like this all the time, is because I get really hot, because it's a whole nother layer of wonderfulness on my head. So I pull it back because it's a lot easier. And then even when my hair is straight, again, I don't have perm in my hair. I don't have a relaxer in my hair. And this is my real hair. This is not a wig. This is not a weave. Some people wear weaves because they think it's easier. I've never had to do that because I was blessed with good hair. The whole conversation, as I said before, about black women's hair is a huge topic. And quite frankly, when you see those laws, the progressives, the Democrats, are grasping. Because they know that a normal form of government, they're not able to offer us anything that they had said that they were going to do. And so in order for us to stay in their whatever, they are looking to our most sort of personal expression and politicizing it. Quite frankly, just like they did with procreation. Because they know that people like me and many other people who they think that have been traditional Democrats or were liberals but never were progressives, they're losing us. So when you see hair policies like this, they're grasping at straws. You telling me in 2019 is the first time where someone's had an issue with your hair? No. But it's now the first time that you have the government getting into your personal business. Think, people, I'm serious. This is ridiculous. So yeah, later, for your information, I am going to blow dry my hair because it's wet. You know, I'm timing it because I wanted to make these videos shorter. And I'm going to keep it moving. Because it's my own personal want to wear my hair a certain way or another. That's it. It's the government's responsibility. Do you understand? So anyway, please subscribe to YouTube. We're putting these on YouTube and Facebook because apparently some people like Facebook, some people like YouTube, what have you. We're going to try to do them both. They're also going to be on our website, but we have some issues with that. But either way, these videos are out there. Please share them. None of this has to do with anything about Congress. But it's an example of the concept of negative government and positive government. Again, it sounds backwards, but really you want negative government. You don't want government to be dictating to you where's it going to end. First it's going to be your hair about expression. It's easily going to be flipped and say what hair you aren't allowed to wear. Whether you're wearing your hair or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anywho, God bless you. Have a great one. Look at the prior videos. Go to our website. We need your help. We need your support. Please donate. Please vote. There's absentee ballots out already, so if you want to do those, please feel free. And my email, if you want a yard sign, is here. And then just share the message. That was a weird video, but it oddly has to do with the entire conversation that we've had to have. Whenever you see government doing more, that is the individual losing autonomy. Again, that is the fundamental difference between a conservative and a progressive. When people want the middle, that's why you can't play in the middle, because if they're literally going so far left, you cannot recalibrate from the middle. Do you understand? You have to, it's like this, right? They're going like this. The weight of progressivism is here. And since we're not saying anything, just like a scale, you have to reintroduce conservative principles in order to get us balanced. Moderate stuff will not outweigh progressivism. Do you understand? And this is the reason why we need to win this seat, is because with this particular district, with Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Howard County, we can affect real change to recalibrate our government. Because if we don't do it, it's just going to be like this, and the individual literally is going to literally disappear. Just like it has been when you have surveillance states or jurisdictions within the city of Baltimore. Because of all the crime and what have you, there literally are, streets and blocks that you can walk down and you're surveilled. There are cameras everywhere. And so you think that you're walking in like a free society, but you're not. Because of that, they are assuming the answer is to surveil you. There goes your privacy, there goes your individual liberty. Do you see? All of it is connected. And if we don't speak up and stand up and fight to protect our liberty, and that includes personal responsibility. If you don't want your neighborhood to be surveilled, then you better make sure that all the individuals that live in that community, in that neighborhood, have the morals and values and principles that don't afford shootouts. That is not from the government. That is from an individual to community to society to, the social interactions that we have with one another and how we conduct ourselves and how we interact with, everything, how we live our lives. All of that should not have anything to do with government. Do you understand? So, I think that's a little shorter. I hope it is. But please subscribe, please go to our website, please support, please vote February 4th, and have a beautiful, blessed day.